When I think of all my favourite types of single-screen, arena, brawler or battler style games, they all have several things in common. They're easy to understand, quick to pick up, but have enough skill and nuance in tactics for you to kind of have tiers of players. So you have people that really get it and get really invested in the game and they'll be top tier, but casuals can still come in just for fun fest games, just on a whim, and they won't feel excluded. Manic Archers is the latest game to try and do this by giving you a top-down perspective of a game similar to Towerfall, I would guess. So it's archers, 1 to 4 players, locally or online, and what you can do is run around with the left stick, aim with the right stick and fire with the right bumper, so that you can then fire your arrows and try and kill as many archers as possible. You can either do it as how many kills whoever's got the most in a timed round gets a point, or whoever's last archer standing. Either way works, and you can twist that across several different modes. You've got one where it's just a free-for-all battle, one where it's king of the hill, there's one where you've got to keep hold of the chicken, and whoever's held the chicken the longest gets the most points. There are several different modes for you to play, and it's either versus time for however many kills or seconds you've held something for, or whoever's last person standing. The interesting thing around this though is that despite it being a very base game of just shoot and hide in an arena on a single screen with loads of different map variations, the gameplay itself is severely hampered by 3 very specific problems, and I'm going to go through them all in turn because they all combine together to make Manic Archers a frankly awkward and unplayable at times experience. The first issue, and the one that really plagues the game the most, is the controls. We were playing with Xbox controllers, both Xbox One and Xbox 360 with different people that I played with, and everyone ran into the same issue. Manic Archers doesn't understand the term dead zone, is the long and short of this. So if your analog stick is slightly not perfectly in dead centre, that takes over the control of your character. So it will be constantly running off to the left or the right or the up or the down. And if your analog stick doesn't return bang on the dead zone of dead centre, then you will keep moving in that direction. So we ended up abandoning trying to play with analog sticks and using the D-pads. And that did work better, but if for some reason you knock the analog stick, it then decides that takes over and then you end up stuck in one direction. And what you'll find in that local player mode, there's always someone getting stuck in a direction moving somewhere. Quite a lot of these levels loop from side to side, so you just have someone constantly running like left or right until they get killed. And it's actually ridiculous because if you're going to take dead zone as such a literal term, you need to be able to put in a kind of, I guess, control option for us to be able to limit that, very similar to what they do often in racing games. So this problem plagued every single game that we played and was absolutely frustrating as hell and really, really hampered the gaming experience. The second and third points kind of merge together. The second point is that there is so many power-ups going on in this game all at once that it becomes chaotic to the point where it feels luck-based more than skill-based. Manic Archers runs extremely fast, and so where you've got like 6 or 7 power-ups going on at once, there's just explosions and someone's on fire and then someone's like spawned into 10 versions of themselves throwing 10 arrows at each other. That's all well and good, but because it's all running up against each other so fast, this leads me to point 3, which is the game can't keep up. And so especially when you first play a game and you first load in an asset for a specific power-up, there's a frame drop or a freeze of the game. And so you're like, it's broke. And then you're moving around, but then actually your analog stick is stuck. So then you're stuck in a corner. And it's a cumulative effect of these 3 issues of too chaotic, the game can't keep up and freezes when it's loading in new stuff. And then if you've got a couple of power-ups going on together, it just slows down to a crawl. But you're wrestling the controls anyway, so it's just you might be running off into a power-up you didn't even want, or to death quite often in this game. Oh my god, we gave up, frankly. It wasn't fun, we didn't enjoy it. I then thought, you know what, I'll try it just on my own with AI and see how it goes. The AI work perfectly fine, and it's great that they're in there as an addition, but all 3 points still plagued the game, and so it wasn't even fun as a single-player experience either. There are some maps on here where there's lots of bridges and places to fall off, and that was the real kicker, because those levels were unplayable because our control scheme just meant that we just walked off the edge all the time. We reinstalled the game, we reinstalled the controllers, we tried it on a different PC. Nah, no idea. Could not get it to work properly at all. So unfortunately, I cannot recommend Manic Archers at all in its current state. Hopefully there'll be some work on the game and it will be playable in the future, but at its current build, just no, I'm afraid I could not recommend this to anyone. A written review will be over on higherplayinggames.com. If you're looking for games similar to this, Towerfall, Gorst, Battery Jam, I could name tons, and maybe I'll do a future video on it, but this one, just don't go for it. Thanks for watching, bye for now. Higher Playing Games is part of the Higher Playing Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplaying-network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.